Good morning and welcome to Morning Movie News. Now, one of the things I talk about all the time here on Beyond the Trailer is how smart the Fast and Furious franchise is for being so diverse. Not just in terms of race, but also gender and nationality. They put out a very wide global casting net and often bring in international stars. Now, granted, it's usually in small fringe roles, such as Joe Taslim. They brought him in from the Raid Redemption, but he hardly had any lines in Fast 6. But still, they did bring him in, and that's a lot more than any other studio or franchise is really doing right now. So I think the Fast and Furious franchise should be commended for that, and they are reaping the rewards at the box office. I think Fast 6, I believe, is the third most successful film of the year worldwide, and has grossed over $700 million. I mean, that's incredibly impressive. The franchise just gets bigger and bigger. Now, also, as I've been saying, I'm a little bit nervous that they're changing directors at this point in the game. When you have an upward trajectory, you would think that you just want to let things go and you want to only add instead of take away. And what they're adding is Jason Statham, quite famously for this next installment, Fast 7. Everyone's very excited about that. But Justin Lin is leaving, as I've reported, and James Wan is coming on board. However, he seems to be following Lin's playbook. And the reason I say that is because it was announced last week that another Thai action star, Tony Jaa, is in talks to join for Fast 7. I think that's fantastic news. I hope that he has a bigger role than Joe Taslim did. Now, he might not, because this is his first English language film, and it's his first studio picture as well, but he might have a little bit of a language barrier, so he might have to work his way up to those bigger roles, and this would, even with a small part, be a great debut for him stateside, or even, I don't know if you can really even say that anymore, because Fast and Furious is such a global franchise. This is a great global debut for Tony Jaa to move out of the Thai movie marketplace in that region, where he's already a very big star. But on the other hand, he could have a bigger role because obviously there is space to be filled that was previously occupied by Sung Kang. Now, Sung Kang was one of my favorite parts of the Fast and Furious franchise. I'm very sad to see him go, but the timeline has now, we've passed Tokyo Drift, we've caught up to it, and Fast 7 is about dealing with the repercussions of Sung Kang's death. Jason Statham, as it was revealed, being the one who killed him. So maybe Tony Jaa is related to Sung Kang's character, maybe. I guess I'm just saying that because they have the same kind of floppy haircut. But I think I could see Tony Jaa playing Sung Kang's younger brother or something like that. But it's a great move for the franchise. It's right in their wheelhouse. It's what they do best, and it's great to see that James Wan is making a Fast and Furious movie, wants to make a Fast and Furious movie, and isn't trying. I'm sure he might put a little of his own stamp on it to give it, have some creative claim to it, and so he can get other work. But it's nice to see that he's not sacrificing what makes the franchise tick. So that's the first story for the day. The second story for the day is a lot of you, I just wanted to check real fast. I wasn't sure what order I decided on, but this is kind of the question too for the day, but it's a big story, so I put it second. And a number of you have been asking me, what do I think of the rumor? And again, another rumor. There's so many rumors floating around. The other that Bryan Cranston is going to be Lex Luthor. By the way, a number of you have been saying, I've heard some people say, well, Grace, they're just waiting to announce that until Breaking Bad is over. No way. I think considering the negative reaction to Ben Affleck as Batman, they would, if this was true, if Bryan Cranston was signed as Lex Luthor, they would want to get that news out immediately to kind of change the story. I mean, Ben Affleck owes a lot to Miley Cyrus in that she knocked him off of the Twitter sphere. But still, Bryan Cranston news would, I think, satisfy a lot of fans and maybe, squash their, or at least temper their anger over Ben Affleck being cast. So nobody would sit on that news, especially in the environment that they're in. And also, why would you wait till Breaking Bad was over? You'd want to enjoy everyone talking about Breaking Bad, and as everyone talked about the last few remaining episodes, they would all the time bring up, oh, I can't wait for him to be Lex Luthor. Imagine if he said that line as Lex Luthor. It's just too tantalizing to pass up. So I don't believe that rumor at all. And the other rumor is that Bradley Cooper will voice Rocket Raccoon. I think that seems like a silly choice. Some of you have told me that Rocket Raccoon is supposed to have a British accent. I don't know quite how you would know that from comic books, but apparently maybe someone at one point commented on that. But I mean, I don't know, why would you have Bradley Cooper do a voice that's unrecognizable? I don't know why they're so eager to get a star for this. I mean, I thought that Vin Diesel would be amusing because it would be funny for him to go around and he'd tell everyone he's voicing a raccoon. But there's such a wonderful community of voice talent that voices animated series and video games, and you even have stars emerging in that arena. When I do these interviews, like for instance at Comic-Con with the cast of the new Batman Arkham Origins video game, a lot of you, I mean, I'm not a gamer, but all of you know who these people are and the voices they do. And the gaming community is so large and so loyal. I don't understand why they wouldn't just get somebody who would do a great voice to do that character. But apparently they want a star. I guess because they also want to play up the motion capture angle. They're already filming Guardians of the Galaxy, so I would assume that somebody else is already handling that. And I guess, but Bradley Cooper, the only thing I could think when this news was announced was that he kind of looks a little bit like Rocket Raccoon if you made the human version, so maybe that's what they were going for. I don't know, but I think it's a waste of Bradley Cooper's talents. And Bradley Cooper, who was considered for Green Lantern, I think, again, why would he take himself off the board to potentially play another superhero that's, you can see his face? So I just think it's a bad choice, and it really would be a great opportunity for a voice actor. So Marvel, go to the gaming community. It seems like a slam dunk. All right, so the third story of the day is that Judd Apatow seems to have found himself another female star. Now, obviously, he's had tremendous success finding female talent. First with, even from Freaks and Geeks, he had a very nice, the female cast members there haven't done as well as the male cast members. So, it's like Linda Cardellini, I believe Busey Phillips, I think that's the correct name. They've done pretty well, and they certainly have their fans, but they haven't been as big as the male stars like Seth Rogen and James Franco and such. But anyway, I think when he's not casting his wife, Leslie Mann, Judd Apatow does have a good eye for talent. And of course, he produced Bridesmaids to great success, and also Girls on HBO. Lena Dunham is his find, so that's very impressive. And he thinks he has a new find in Amy Schumer. Now, I've seen Amy Schumer at the ads for her show. She's a comedian. She's a very vulgar, raunchy comedian. She apparently got a lot of interest in her based on some roasts that she did through Comedy Central, and she also has her own show now. I'm not quite sure how successful it is. And the reason I haven't really been following Amy Schumer, while I do watch Girls and I do like Bridesmaids, my problem with Amy Schumer, just personally, is that I don't like it because I don't think her jokes are funny, and I think she just goes for shock value, and I think she's just using the idea of a girl doing that to get laughs, to get that kind of awkward uncomfortableness. Like, look, I'm a woman who talks raunchy and frankly about sex, and you know what? If you want to do that, fine. There are a lot of comedians who are raunchy who make me laugh, but that's because the jokes are funny. I personally just think Amy Schumer is just pure shock value. And like Sarah Silverman, she can be funny. She walks a very thin line. I think even people are divided as to whether or not she's funny or just shock value. But Amy Schumer, to me, she kind of represents what I don't like about some female comedians. So, but who knows? She did get a television show. I do trust Judd Apatow's judgment. And, considering how well Miley Cyrus did being raunchy and dominated the headlines for about 24 hours, probably still a little bit, why not? I'm sure the movie wouldn't be that expensive. But are you an Amy Schumer fan? And what do you think of female comedians? And do you think that, shock value is enough for a movie? Write your thoughts down below. And write your thoughts down below about all of today's stories. I hope you enjoyed today's morning movie news. And please write down below any questions you have for tomorrow and any stories you'd like to see covered. Bye.